Hi everyone, thank you very much for dropping by and returning to the old world. Today, Games Workshop prices. I want to stop talking about it, I want to stop referencing it in all of the videos that I seem to be making at the moment, but I just can't. And there's some reasons for that, so let's have a chat about the current situation. So in March 2023, 6th of March to be precise, Games Workshop is going to put its prices up by 6%. It's not covering everything. It's not covering paints, starter sets, rulebooks, but the stuff that you probably want to buy from them, the models, for example, maybe the paintbrushes, certainly the spray cans, they're all going up. Brilliant. Now, here in the UK, inflation as of September 2022 is running a shade over 10%. The price rises are 6%. And Games Workshop, let's face it, their production costs will have gone up. The cost of staff, etc., will have gone up. The energy bill they pay for keeping their stores lit and warm will have gone up in the same way as everybody else's have. So from that perspective, yeah, absolutely, you could say, makes sense, doesn't it? Their costs are going up. They'll have to put the cost of their products up. Let's face it, food items, some of them going up far quicker than your Games Workshop material. So it's all okay, right? Well, to an extent, yes, but there's the logic, but we're talking about a luxury item that goes up every single year by amounts that don't necessarily look that close to inflation. And times are tough. So Games Workshop, they make a decent profit every year. It's not a great way of bringing your fan base, your customers, with you on the journey. Now, every year we see comment after comment at this time. Look at Facebook, look at YouTube, look at whatever source you want. You'll see comments saying, Warhammer 8th edition, that failed because of the cost of the game. It was too expensive to collect a new army. People stopped buying stuff. Game went bye-bye. Everybody's sad. Then there'll be the people saying, well, I would love to buy more Games Workshop stuff. I really like the models they produce. I just can't afford it, so I'm buying less. And increasingly, we see the comment of, well, I don't buy any Games Workshop stuff anymore. I 3D print everything. Life's brilliant. Everything's so much cheaper. Within all of this, I think it's important to remember that Games Workshop do some things quite differently to a lot of other companies out there. They're so much bigger. They've got such a big, important market share. They're not the only game in town. There's other manufacturers making fantasy models. The dwarves I'm using for my Warhammer preparation project, I'm using North Star miniatures. The rank and file dwarves, they're costing me about 80p a model. This is far cheaper than models if I bought them direct from Games Workshop. If I was doing a human army, I could look at historical models. Historic models can be incredibly cheap if you're buying into the right sort of range. So not the only game in town, and we have to remember that. We can vote with our feet, we can vote with our wallet, and carry on with our hobby. So why do I keep talking about the price? I've already said this is something that happens every year. We see the same sort of comments every year. It just feels more fundamental now. Even before this latest price rise was announced, it feels we're just getting closer to that tipping point where affordability starts to really hurt the support for the games that we want. Because it will come a point in time, as we're looking at the difficulties out there at the moment, rising energy costs, food costs going up, wages not keeping up with the cost of travel and all the rest of it. People will have to stop buying hobby things because, quite frankly, they're not important when compared to everything else in your life. And let's face it, if Games Workshop sees sales reduced by enough, that means they're not going to be able to afford to provide the support that we've become used to, the balancing of games, the new releases, the new rules, updates, things like that. And games will fade into obscurity. And that's not something anyone really wants. There's also fears emerging that Warhammer the Old World, when it's released, will be a game for Forge World. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're paying the Forge World premium on top of the premium you're already paying for buying into a Games Workshop product. And I think if, much like the first edition of Horus Heresy, if Warhammer the Old World does become a Forge World thing, then I just don't see it doing well at all. I don't see it getting out of the starting blocks. I don't see communities picking up the game. And that would be really disappointing given how much excitement there is and people looking forward to the game being released. Final comment on this is just really to emphasise the fact that, yes, I fully accept Games Workshop have to make money. That is what they're there for. They are a company. They have to make money for their stakeholders, their shareholders. That is their purpose. They're not there to be our friends. They're not there to provide us with a good time. They're there to make something and sell to us a product that we're willing to buy at the highest price they can really get away with selling it. But I feel that, and I could well be wrong on this, that tipping point as to when too much becomes too much could well just be around the corner. Going forward, I do, as I say, want to avoid talking about prices all the time. I will try and stay positive. This is a channel that wants to be positive. And with that, I will leave you. If you want to continue to hear my thoughts about various things, Games Workshop and hobby in general, do consider dropping a subscribe. Otherwise, thank you very much for stopping by. I am Return to the Old World. Have a great day.